Not many places on earth can trace their civilization back as far as India, and not many civilizations can boast of as many firsts as the ancient Indians. The accomplishments of ancient India go well beyond yoga and the Kama Sutra. At a time when the rest of the world still hadn't figured out a good numerical system, India was making major innovations in everything from science and technology to board games that are still relevant today. All the facts that are being discussed will have a good taste of ancient India's rich legacy and stunning achievements. Without wasting your time, let's get into the video. Now let's talk about the mathematical pioneers from India. The ancient Indians were mathematical pioneers and came up with many advanced mathematical concepts before the Europeans did. The mathematicians back in India invented the number zero, the concepts like algebra, calculus, and the decimal system, and they even worked out the value of pi. Sounds good, right? Now let's talk about the ancient medical history from India. Thinking about nostalgia? Maybe the ancient Indians could have helped you out. The doctors performed advanced surgical procedures including cataract treatment, cesareans, brain surgery, and even early forms of plastic surgery. Surgeons in ancient India even used anesthetic in the form of wine and cannabis incense. Have you ever heard about Sushruta? Let's get into it. Sushruta, he was an ancient Indian physician known as the main author of treatise, the Compendium of Sushruta. The Sushruta Samhita is one of the most important surviving ancient treatises on medicine and is considered a foundational text of Ayurveda. The ancient Indians were even pioneers in dentistry. The oldest evidence of dental drilling practiced on a living human comes from India 9,000 years ago. This also tells me that people have been afraid of the dentist for 9,000 years. Sounds good. Let's get into it. Let's now talk about the legendary astronomers from India. Ancient Indian astronomers had a lot figured out. Not only did they work out equations for predicting solar and lunar eclipses, but scientific texts also showed that they embraced a heliocentric view of the solar system. That means they figured out that Earth revolves around the Sun and not the other way around. Have you ever heard about yoga? Let's know more about it. Yoga. In the West, we have only been lunging our yoga mats around for a few decades, but the practice goes back a lot further in India. Yoga first started being practiced about 5,000 years ago. In the first use of the word yoga for this practice appeared almost 2,500 years ago. Yoga is an ancient practice for living healthily that combines physical and spiritual disciplines that connects the body and the mind. It originated in India more than 5,000 years ago. The earliest written record of yoga is by Patanjali, an Indian sage who lived around 2000 or 2500 years ago. Let's talk about the herbal essence now. If you're having a good head today, you might have to thank the ancient Indians. Sounds different. Have you ever wondered the origin of chess? Let's talk about it. The Chaturanga Masters. The game that we knew as chess is thought to have come from the ancient Indian game Chaturanga, invented 1500 years ago. Chaturanga features 4 soldiers that move like the chess pawns, a raja that moves like the king in the chess, and a horse that moves like a knight in chess. Not all the pieces are identical to chess, though. For example, instead of bishops, Chaturanga uses elephants. Is Chaturanga too complicated? You could always play any other ancient Indian game, Moksha, also known as Snakes and Ladders. Originally, the snakes represented vice and the ladders represented virtue. So this game only explains us the vice and virtue through which everybody can have a good moral from this. It also gives the purpose to make it up to heaven. About India. To get to know all about this interesting stuff, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and please do follow our videos. Thank you and Jai Hind.